This is NewsLink Indiana in high definition.
Good evening and welcome to NewsLink Indiana. I'm David Kahn.
And I'm Kelsey Anderson. Thanks for joining us. The clock may say it's 6 o'clock, but most Ball State students have a different time on their minds.
Spring break is less than 24 hours away. Lots of Cardinals are flying south for the week, but many aren't just going for sun and fun. They have work to do.
NewsLink Indiana's Aaliyah English is one of those students, is live on I-75 near Athens, Tennessee. First of all, Aaliyah, what's the weather and traffic like getting out of Muncie?
Yes, we are outside of Athens, Tennessee, about 40 miles north of Chattanooga. I checked the weather on our way in today, and it looks like the temperatures are in the low 50s, which doesn't exactly scream spring break. However, it is a lot better than the flurries and the cold winds that we felt this morning leaving Muncie. Traffic is fairly light. Luckily, we haven't run into any stop-and-go traffic or no construction, so we're hoping for a smooth ride all the way down to Florida.
Going to Florida, what are you all going to be doing?
Myself and 12 other journalists are traveling to Sarasota, Florida to cover spring training to bring back stories for the Muncie community. So we're looking for great weather and some great baseball. Live and outside of Chattanooga, Aaliyah English, NewsLink Indiana.
So it doesn't seem to be too much warmer in Tennessee, but definitely warmer than what we have here.
That's right, Kelsey. Tatia, what can you tell us about the weather today?
Oh, it has been really cold today, but everybody is talking about the spring break, and students are interested what kind of weather do we have in other states. So we do have 71 degrees in Los Angeles and 79 degrees in Florida, just 42 degrees in New York and 36 degrees in Muncie. Today we are going to talk about snow showers, which are possible, gradual weekend warm-up, and spring break. Back to the desk.
Thank you, Tatia. Some Ball State students and staff may have found themselves working in the dark today.
NewsLink Indiana's Brianna Bobbitt has more on the power outage that happened at Robert Bell.
Buildings throughout campus were impacted by a power outage today, including Robert Bell. Ball State freshman Morgan Hudson was preparing for a midterm to take when the power went out in her dorm at La Follette.
I was in my room studying for midterms because I'm like, yeah. And then all of a sudden everything just shut off. And so I peeked out in the hallway and everyone else was peeking out in the hallway. And there was like one light at the end of the hallway that was still on, but everything else was out.
Melissa Sorrell, who was the assistant manager for the testing lab, was there during the outage and says that they have procedures in place for these situations that happen during testing for students.
What happens is the students who are already in the lab in a test, they really, unless their professor sets their test up so that they have another attempt, there's nothing much we can do. We have to just sign them out. They have to leave, contact the professor, and then they have to clear the first attempt for them so they can come back at a later time.
The outage started around 11:30 this morning at Robert Bell, and the power was restored by faculty around 12:15. In Muncie, Brianna Bobbitt, NewsLink Indiana.
Facilities were able to restore the power throughout all the buildings on campus by switching the pathway to the other circuits that give power.
The Senate has confirmed that former Texas Governor Rick Perry will serve as the Energy Secretary under President Donald Trump. The vote was 62 to 37 on Thursday. Perry said he'll work to develop American energy in all forms. The Senate has also confirmed that former Republican presidential candidate Ben Carson will serve as Housing Secretary. The vote was 58 to 41. Carson will lead an agency of approximately 83,000 employees and a budget of approximately $47 billion. A congressional panel has introduced a $578 billion Pentagon spending bill to keep the armed forces in operation until the end of September. The Pentagon, as well as other federal agencies, are currently running under a stopgap spending bill that expires on April 28. The full House will meet next week to consider the spending bill for the 2017 fiscal year.
In a press conference this afternoon, Attorney General Jeff Sessions recused himself from any investigations into Russian interference with Trump's presidential campaign last year. This follows revelations that during his Senate confirmation hearings, Sessions did not mention two pre-election meetings he had with the Russian ambassador. When asked a question about the topic by Senator Franken,
my reply to the question of Senator Franken was honest and correct as I understood it at the time. My staff recommended recusal. They said that since I had involvement with the campaign, I should not be involved in any campaign investigation. I have studied the rules and considered their comments and evaluation. I believe those recommendations are right and just. Therefore, I have recused myself in the matters that deal with the Trump campaign.
And pressure arose this morning from Democrats and Republicans alike for Sessions to recuse himself. The news follows a line of problems Trump has had with his newly appointed cabinet nominees. Aboard the USS General R. Ford today, President Trump spoke about military spending and his Attorney General Jeff Sessions. The USS General R. Ford is a newly developed warship which is expected to be commissioned later this year. Concerning General Sessions' involvement with any potential investigation into his presidential campaign, Trump said that he had, as he put it, total confidence in his Attorney General. When asked about whether Sessions should recuse himself from any investigations, Trump said, quote, "Not at all." In a speech to Navy personnel, the president reiterated his stance on the higher military spending.
Our Navy is now the smallest it's been since, believe it or not, World War I. Don't worry. Going to soon be the largest it's been. Don't worry.
Trump's remarks come just days after his first address to Congress since his election.
Apple, IBM, and Microsoft are among 53 companies urging the Supreme Court that transgender high school senior Gavin Grimm has the right to use the boys' bathroom at his Virginia high school. The business signed onto a brief filed Thursday in Grimm's lawsuit against the Gloucester County School Board. Grimm says he wants to use the bathroom that matches his chosen gender. The case is scheduled to be argued on March 28, but the school board is seeking a delay.
Coming up, find out how one local Muncie man has found his freedom after being behind bars for more than a decade.
And when we return, follow along with NewsLink Indiana's Tony Sandlaben as he gives a tour of Ball State's newest dormitory, all coming up after the break.
Oh! Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
So I've come up with a family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
A Muncie man is seeking to have his 92 rape conviction vacated after DNA tests show he wasn't the assailant. William Barnhouse was accused of attacking a Muncie woman in 1992. He was found guilty of rape and criminal deviant conduct and sentenced to 80 years in prison. On Wednesday, a joint motion was filed by Delaware County prosecutors and attorneys with the Innocence Project, who represent Barnhouse, asked a judge to set aside his convictions. The Muncie Star-Press reports DNA tests found another man's semen on the victim's pants and body.
Vice President Mike Pence will be at the University of Notre Dame on May 21st to deliver this spring's commencement address. It is an honor normally reserved for the new U.S. president. The university declined to say whether President Donald Trump was invited to the ceremony. The president of the university has criticized Trump over his executive order limiting refugees and travel from some Muslim-majority countries, saying it would demean the country. H.H. Gregg is closing down 88 stores and 3 distribution facilities. The chain's executives say exiting stores and markets that aren't financially profitable for them is a decision to streamline their store footprint in the markets where they have been and will continue to be important to their communities and customers. Final closings are expected to be done by mid-April and will result in the elimination of approximately 1,500 positions.
And Ball State Housing's latest project is in the final stages of construction. The Johnson B. Residence Hall has been under remodeling since 2015. NewsLink Indiana's Tony Sandlaben took a tour of the new facility and has an exclusive look behind the scenes of the facility's development.
This is the dance studio.
Associate Director of Facilities George Edwards says the updated residence hall will feature a living learning community geared toward theater and dance students, with a dance studio, stage, and small theater.
Right now, this is the main entrance to the facility. There's going to be a revolving door that will also act as the main entrance to try to conserve energy. But what's even better, come late April, the hard hats come off.
Coordinator for Living Learning Communities Joel Bynum says the new makerspace will provide hands-on learning opportunities for theater, dance, and design students.
I like to call them college rompus rooms. It's a place to just go play, sort of like the basement or the garage that you might have had when you were younger, and then so where's that space when you move into the residence hall? Well, we've created that space here.
With completion of remodeling scheduled for the end of April, Bynum says housing's next project appears to be La Follette. In Muncie, Tony Sandlaben, NewsLink, Indiana.
Now, Bynum said the La Follette's north wing of Mishurst and all of Woody Shales are scheduled to come down starting in May.
Well, one thing that has defined the last 2 days, Kelsey, wind.
But will the windy days continue? Your full weather forecast is next.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
New York Zoo's pregnant giraffe has become internet famous since going into labor February 22nd. The zoo's giraffe cam began live streaming from the enclosure last week, and more than 15 million people have tuned in. The pregnant giraffe has its own website, GoFundMe page, and an apparel line. 15-year-old April is expected to give birth to her 4th calf any time now.
Well, Kelsey, it's probably been a cold day over in New York, but it's definitely been pretty chilly here in Muncie.
It's definitely been chilly here. Tatia, what can you tell us?
It it has been really cold weather today, and we have some snow showers and cold wind, but we just have 36 degrees, and one make it more, we make it less, just 27 degrees, and it's pretty cloudy weather outside. Here is current temperatures, and we see just 37 degrees we do have in Indianapolis, 33 degrees in Lafayette. Terre Haute just has 38 degrees, 39 degrees in Bloomington, 35 degrees in Champaign, and in Kokomo we just have 33 degrees. Tonight we are going to have just 24 degrees, the lowest one. We will have mostly cloudy sky, rain and snow chance is really big. The wind will be 9 or 11 miles per hour. Now the future, we see that here are the snow clouds in Muncie, so it's definitely going to snow for Friday, 8 a.m. And we see that there will be clear sky until Saturday morning, and in Saturday night, it will be changed again. So if you're going to leave Muncie for spring break, use the chance on Friday evening because it's going to be more warmer and more clear skies. On Saturday, you will have again the chance, but only in the evening, not in the morning. Now we will see that only 35 degrees we do have for tomorrow. It will be more warmer, and we will have sun, partly sunny and windy. The wind will be only 14 miles per hour. On Friday, we do have 35 degrees. On Saturday, we do have 43 degrees and snowy day. On Sunday, we do have 59 degrees, just 61 degrees we do have on Monday. On Tuesday, we do have 59 degrees, and it's going to be a rainy day. On Wednesday, we will have clear sky and sunny day, 53 degrees, and then on Thursday, we will have just 56 degrees.
Well, awesome. So it's going to be a cold weekend, but for those of us that aren't going anywhere on spring break, it does warm up a little bit next week, right?
Right.
Do you guys have any spring break plans?
I'm just mainly spending spring break with my family right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to Florida and can't wait to see sunny days.
Awesome.
All right, well, thank you, Tatia. Right after the break, spring break may be right around the corner, but a couple Ball State sports are keeping the intensity up.
And find out what teams are in action when NewsLink Indiana returns.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
This is NewsLink Indiana Sports. I'm Liam Shelton. The Ball State swimming and diving team finished off their first day at the Mid-American Conference Championship, tied for 6th place with the University of Evansville. The team got 6th place in the 200-yard medley relay with a season best time of 1 minute 32.01 seconds. The time also placed 7th in the 800-yard freestyle relay with a season best time of 6 minutes 44.76 seconds. Tonight's finals begins at 7 in Carbondale, Illinois. The Ball State softball team will be playing 13 more games in Florida this weekend and throughout spring break. The first 8 games will be a part of the Under Armour Invitational, and the last 5 will be in the Florida Atlantic Tournament. Leading the Cardinal offense will be freshman Jana Hogg. She has 14 hits, 5 RBIs, and a home run so far this season. With no wins this last weekend, the Cardinals are hoping to step up their game for their busy schedule during the break. Meanwhile, the Ball State men's basketball team heads into tomorrow's game with Northern Illinois, one win away from back-to-back MAC West Division titles. A far cry from Franco's house freshman year when the team won just 5 games. Peter Hood has more on how the senior has changed the culture in the program.
As the calendar turns to March, the end is drawing near for Franco House. On Friday, one of the best players in Ball State basketball history will play his final regular season home game inside Worthen Arena.
It's quite crazy. I mean, it went by so fast. It seemed like yesterday I was a freshman trying to get in shape.
It'll be emotional, no question. I'm going to miss him a lot. I think I was my 3rd or 4th day on the job. I was in his house for a home visit, and so it'll be different not having him here.
Over 1,300 career points, 700 plus rebounds, and on Friday he'll tie the program's all-time record for games played in a career. But the numbers don't even begin to tell the story on how House has helped turn the program around.
Franco's a guy that walks the walk, and his work ethic speaks for itself. And so he's set an example for us for 4 years, and we're going to miss it.
The thing I'm most proud of is just sticking through it. I mean, I had 2 rough seasons where a lot of people probably would look to transfer, and I stuck through it, and I decided to work on my game and develop my game to change things around here. And with the help of me going hard and a lot of my teammates pushing and working hard in the offseason, we were able to turn the program around.
House has dreams of playing basketball after college, but for now he's focused on one thing, trying to make a run in next week's MAC tournament.
That's the biggest thing right now. As far as my career, I don't see it as being over tomorrow. I see it as keep going into Cleveland and what we can do from there.
Tip-off is set for 7 p.m. against Northern Illinois. In Muncie, Peter Hood, NewsLink, Indiana.
Heading into tomorrow's game, the men need a win and a Kent State loss to earn a bye in the first round of the MAC tournament.
And that's a lot of games for softball to play right off the, that's a whole week long of games.
It sure is, and I don't know, I think I'd be a little upset that it's dipping into my spring break time.
Definitely, and it's going to be hot in Florida.
Oh, yes.
A new Taylor Swift album has created quite the buzz.
And Adele's fireworks that have proved not to be your entertainment news is next.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to theshelterpetproject.org and meet if you are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener and loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to theshelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self. And I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
I'm Anne-Marie Toller with NewsLink Entertainment News Tonight. Will you be in Muncie this weekend and looking for something to do? Muncie Civic Youth Education Program presents Fiddler on the Roof Junior. There will be 4 performances by the musical this weekend at Muncie Civic Theater's main stage. The first performance will be tomorrow night at 7:30 with 2 more performances on Saturday, one at 2 and the other at 7:30, with the final performance being Sunday afternoon at 2. Tickets for Fiddler on the Roof can be purchased at Muncie Civic Theater or online at munciecivic.org. Tickets are $6 for all ages and seating will be general admission. It was a scary incident for singer Adele during sound check for her concert in Perth, Australia. The singer's 4-year-old son, Angelo, was hit in the eye by debris while fireworks were being tested for the show later that night. Adele's son is okay, but Adele decided to cancel the firework display for the rest of her Adele Live tour. At least that was the plan. However, explaining the incident to her fans later that night in the Domain Stadium, she asked the 65,000 fans in attendance to vote whether the fireworks should remain part of her set. Adele said, "Let's cheer for fireworks if we want them and let's boo if we don't." The decision was made clear. "All right, well next time there will be them," she said. Adele's next concert will take place Saturday, where there will be fireworks during her concert. The new trailer for Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man Tells No Tales, premiered exclusively today on The Ellen DeGeneres Show. Dead Man Tells No Tales will be the 5th and final installment of the popular franchise with Walt Disney Studios. Back in April of 2015, producer Jerry Buckerham shared a photo of Depp back in costume captioned, "Captain Jack is back and there will not be letting him go." The final movie is budgeted for $320 million, and the highly anticipated movie will be in theaters May 26th of this year. Last up, will Taylor's fans receive a special gift this holiday season? Well, Swift's best friend and fellow singer-songwriter Ed Sheeran thinks so. Swift hasn't released an album since October of 2014, and that was her 1989 album, which won Album of the Year and Best Pop Vocal Album of the Year at the 2015 Grammys. This has not yet been confirmed by Swift, but Ed Sheeran seems very confident that with his new album, Divide, which will be released tomorrow, will be accompanied by an album from Swift later this year. This may be the holiday gift that Swift's fans have been waiting a long time for. That's entertainment news tonight. Back to you in the studio.
And Tatia, can you give us a final look at the weather?
Of course, with pleasure. So on Friday, we do have 35 degrees and it will be partly cloudy sky. And on Saturday, we will have 43 degrees, we will have snow, and everybody will need warmer clothes and coats. On Sunday, we will have 59 degrees and it will be cloudy weather. On Monday, we will have 61 degrees and rainy day. On Tuesday, we are waiting for thunderstorms and it will be just 59 degrees. On Wednesday, it will be sunny day, just 53 degrees. And on Thursday, we will have 56 degrees and it will be partly cloudy sky.
All right, and that's all for your NewsLink Indiana. We're taking some time off for spring break.
Be sure to watch Monday, March 13th at 9 p.m. right here on Cardinal Vision, and be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. We leave you tonight in New York with the live look at April the Giraffe. Have a good night.
You've been watching NewsLink Indiana in high definition.